Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into the third hour of the galactic shit show that is Nebula Jazz. So, Aurora, you've just signed away the rights to the salvage rights to the inside of your ship, which is a husk up on blocks in the dock on Dead Man's Reef. The prospector Jasper owns a controlling share. What now? What I guess is my question. What are you gonna do here?
That's not my signature. I didn't sign that.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. So yeah, he's just like smiling, like, here, look, you signed it away.
Let me see this. Let me see this. And I like,
he hands it to you.
And I look back at Rex. I'm like, hey, we have a problem right here. We have a problem. Yeah, I don't. Hey, come here. Hey.
Yeah. What you see is Rex talking to an elephant man who very panickedly like turns and hurries the other way, about
Right.
20 feet away, and it's the guy that the prospector was talking to. He's gone.
Yeah.
And Rex just like comes over slowly, his hands folded behind his back, and he kind of just leans in. What seems to be the problem?
This. And I just point to it, and then I like shove it in his face. And I'm like, yeah, so about last night, see, I got really drunk. I know. I'd never had that feeling before. It's a great feeling, but that's not the point. It's not the point.
Yeah, it's great. You can do a bunch of really bad stuff and then blame it on someone who isn't really you. So it's cool.
So like, they own this technically.
Well, let me just have a look at this here.
Oh yeah. Here you go.
Rex holds up the pad.
Yeah.
And he looks up and he's like, it's weird. I didn't think you could give away something you don't own, because she doesn't own shit. This stuff is mine.
And Jasper says to you, well, I think you'll see if you take a closer look that in the absence of the owner, so he like starts talking.
Crush the data pad in my hand.
And he looks at it.
There's nothing left to look at.
Yeah, he shakes his head and he's like, oh, well, see, why'd you have to go and do that? Old Jasper's no fool. I got all my contracts backed up. And he kind of like smiles, like, look how smart I am.
Jasper, was it?
He nods. Yup.
The fact that you're this fucking close to me means you are a fool. And you're going to give me my ship stuff back right now.
Yeah, he kind of squares his jaw and peers at you through his one good eye. And he's like, oh, you can't scare old Jasper. I've seen worse space desperados than you.
I bite his head off.
All right, good. Fine, sure.
Whoa!
Okay, yeah. So you just snap out and take his head off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Would you like to roll your you want to use your stunt or yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna stun him.
All right, cool. Spray of blood and his body falls to the floor. A bunch of people around just like start and stare awkwardly at you.
Yeah. After about 30 seconds of blood frenzy, devouring various limbs.
Right. So you fall on the body and start tearing at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rex just stands up and stretches a little bit, and he looks to the right, and Aurora's just like covered.
And I'm just like standing there, like my eyes, like there's no expression, not even surprised because I've seen it already. I'm just like, so should I start packing the stuff?
Rex just kind of like, he's like cleaning himself up. He like dashes the towel, and he's like, yeah, we should start doing that.
Okay, yeah. I grab like a tarp nearby, and I'm like trying to wipe the stuff off with the tarp, and it's just spreading it even more all over my face and
Just
body.
smearing the blood around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Rex just starts wheeling all the stuff back to the ship.
Yeah. So the four of you are now all back on the ship.
Wait, hold on. You gotta cut back to the elephant man, still standing there, sprayed with blood, blinking as they walk away.
Yeah, totally. Horrified. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So we cut back to the ship, and the four of you are there now. You have all the materials in this like bucket. What are you doing? What's happening?
I mean, Rex just rolls up. And you see him like wheeling in like this huge cart of our stuff, and he looks at Quinn. He's like, found our ship.
Quinn sticks his hand in it and sort of like looks at all of the parts. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? This isn't even...
There's like a severed hand among the ship parts.
It's all covered in blood. And it's like, what? What do you want me to do? This isn't
back.
parts. This isn't parts anymore. This is scrap.
What do you mean it's scrap? It's the same shit that came out. Put it in.
It might be the same shit that came out, but it's not the same shit anymore. This is like, where am I supposed to put this? And it's like just a weird copper wiring. It's like ripped and torn. And it's like, what do I even do with this?
Rex, he like puts his face in his hands, and then he just like boots something and just like walks back out the ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Quinn, Quinn, Aurora, and Eugene, you got a big bundle of busted up ship parts.
No, I run after Rex and I stop him and I'm like, wait a minute, just to stop you real quick. So you ate a guy.
Don't you fucking speak.
No. Just hear me out.
No, you hear me out.
Nope, hear me out.
That's my home. All right.
No. But
Chocoloids don't have planets; they have ships, and you gave mine fucking away. You're in a lot of fucking trouble.
Technically, you still have.
Leave me alone.
You still have.
Rex walks away. He walks away.
Rex storms off.
And I'm like behind him, still like speed walking behind him because I'm like half his size. And I'm like, what? You ate the guy and he left behind a ship. I'm just throwing that out there. You do whatever you want. And then I'm like, okay, bye. And I just like go back to the ship.
He ignores her and he just storms off.
Okay. So Quinn, do you want to try to make an attempt to figure out what to do here, or are you just like putting this aside for now?
I'll attempt to try and figure out something, but I imagine it'll be impossible. But I'll attempt to.
Okay. I mean, I'm a mechanic as well. I could try to help him. I'm sober now.
Yeah, Aurora is the ship's mechanic, so she's certainly capable of trying to. Yes.
Technically, yeah. I'm the one.
So maybe Rex, or maybe Quinn, maybe that's what you realized, that like, yeah, it's outside your skill set, and Aurora might be able to do it. And I guess Aurora, you come back in without Rex.
Yeah, and I see Quinn. I'm like, he's really mad.
You don't say.
And then I'm like, okay, so he ate a dude. That's normal. We've seen that. But the dude had a ship and money. We could grab his parts, take his parts, and bring it over here, or we could just try to put this back together.
Quinn looks at the bloody parts and then looks back at Aurora and her proposal to go to this man's ship and take his money in his ship. And he's like, do you ever think we're the bad guys sometimes?
As you like wipe the blood off of your chest.
I was just drinking and having a good time. I was with Eugene and Jasper had to screw me over, and Eugene puked outside. There's green goo
from the other room. You just hear him go, was not there. That was not me.
Oh, yeah? Then whose puke is that? There's green goo everywhere.
There is some green goo outside.
Yeah, Quinn for a minute thinks about back to what Eugene said and is like, Eugene, there was something after you, yes?
I like come out. Yeah. Wait, did you not listen to any of that? God.
and then he's like, hold on a minute. And he like kind of points to outside and he's like, Aurora, where did sick Eugene go?
And I point right down at the bottom, like at where the ramp goes down, and there's like green goo all around there.
It's more of like a stain on the ground rather than like a pile of goo. Like there's just a mark on the ground.
It's green. I'm like, hey, it's right there. He threw up right there. Look at it.
Yeah, Quinn goes down and sort of stands over it, and he's like, Eugene, does this?
Did you do this? Hit him with a newspaper.
I just sort of look back to Eugene and look at the stain. I'm like, if this isn't you, who was it?
Yeah, Aurora, who was it? What sweet hapless slime did you bring back here that got eaten by a weird shadow person?
Wait. Okay, wait. Hold on. Back. You know, go a couple steps back. Shadow person.
Okay, so there's a shadow thing that wants the scepter, came to me, showed me like, I don't know, hot babes on a planet. It's not important. And then told me to bring it the scepter and then I would have whatever I wanted, right? What I think probably happened is it thought, much like you, Aurora, thought that that thing was me, and now it's gone? I don't know.
Did he show it hot babes and just took it to hot babes?
Yeah,
You know,
why?
I doubt that another slime would dream of hot babes, but who knows? I'm not sure how corrupted these slimes are here, or if they're like fresh off the boat, so to speak.
That's a good question, though. If it came to this Eugene first, why is it gone? Why didn't it just take you?
If the other Eugene, God, I hate that we're calling it that. If the other Eugene
He has a
was
name.
asked what
Aurora
it wanted,
Aurora knows his name, but has forgotten because she's
Let's
drunk.
all right.
She was drunk.
Hold on. Let's just call him 2Gene from now on. If
I
2Gene,
refuse to believe it's not. It's not Eugene, by the way.
Yeah, you're firmly just okay.
if 2Gene
thank you.
was approached by this thing, assuming that it very recently separated from the mother, probably what it would want more than anything else in the world is to go home. I mean, maybe it's fine. Maybe sweet little 2Gene was dreaming of going back home and the shadow thing sent it home, or the shadow thing ate it and it's dead. I don't know.
But it didn't have a scepter, and you did. And how? Something doesn't make sense here. Why would it have taken
anyone-
it and not have taken you? You have the scepter.
And why would it eat one of you?
We're missing
you know,
something, Eugene. We're missing something here, and
we're
I'm not
missing a
okay
lot.
with it.
We're missing a lot of information. Yeah, I agree.
What did this shadow thing say to you after you refused to give it your scepter?
It just you know, it's a blur. It's really a blur. Something about disrespect and getting respect and money and hot babes again. And then
The shadow creature wants hot babes?
and then,
So
look,
while the group of you are having this conversation, I think we probably like kind of pull away. We get the pan up, and Rex, where do you go? Rex is feeling angry about his home being defiled. Where do we find Rex?
Rex is in like an alien titty bar.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The
But
strippers all have
he's
six
like
boobs.
he's like ignoring all like advanced. He's just like sat there in like the dingy darkness with like the grungy music playing.
Right, and it's like abandoned except for you and like a hologram of a stripper.
Yeah, and there's like because it's like the middle of the day. There's like a
Yeah.
fucking like caretaker like sweeping the floor. And I'm just, like,
you have to lift
sat
your
there.
feet because someone vacuums underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're essentially like alone in this bar, and you hear a voice. You hear this quiet voice say, "Rex." And when you look up, the bar has gotten like kind of dark, and you feel a mysterious presence in the room, and and then you hear it again, Rex.
You just hear like the clink of ice cubes. And he
Right.
just, yeah, he just sips.
Yeah, and so the shadows kind of like form up in front of you, and this mirrored mask appears, and you hear, "I have something for you, Rex."
What else did she fucking sign?
And so you see the mask appear, and we see Rex's reflection as the mask slips away. What does Rex see? What is Rex's like heart's desire?
Like an incredible ship. Like the best ship you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the captain, and his crew is like Quinn and Eugene
Aw.
and Aurora, and he's got like some hot babe assistant.
course.
And they like comes over the radio that they've just received like a job for a heist, and he's
Right,
like
so
on his
basically
feet.
the life you have now, but like turned up a little.
Yeah, but turned up, right? And he's got like
Yeah.
his feet on the desk, and he's got like these shiny new boots, and he kind of like smirks and is like, punch it, and they like dip into warp drive to head towards their next adventure, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just like an extravagant version of the life they live now, without the complications, without the scepter, just like flying around in space and fucking stealing shit and doing adventures. That's just like his vision.
yeah, like living a better version of your current life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you see that for a moment, and we cut back, and the voice says, "The scepter, Rex, it is a curse. Look at what you could have without it. I will make it safe. Bring me the scepter. You will have everything of which you dream."
I'm gonna use my stunt because I ate the Mingasi Prince and he haunts my consciousness. Once possessed, I could consult him for advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I
You're
think
gonna have
as
two weird creatures
the
talking
guy
to you at
is
the same
speaking
time.
to me, I like close my eyes briefly, and then when I open them again, I can see the prince. He's kind of like leaning on a wall in the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of tilt my head, and like the shadow can see me do this, but
Yeah,
He
and we see its
sees me
mask
speaking to
kind
no
of
one.
turn. Yeah.
and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
And the prince shrugs and he's like, "I don't know. You've never seen him before. Something familiar about him, though."
What do you mean familiar?
He shrugs. He's like, "I don't know. I'm the hallucination here."
You're supposed to be helpful.
He shrugs. So I'm trying.
Again, we cut back to the shadow, and he's just like confused as hell. I'm just
Yeah,
looking.
the shadow's like, "Hey,
Oh.
over here. Hey." But yeah, the shadow's kind of just looming around you and kind of like confusedly like turning its head in the direction that you're looking. And the prince says, "I don't know. I can't place it, but I feel like we've seen this before, or I have. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. It's still real unclear. I mean, it's not wrong. The scepter's been nothing but a problem. I don't know. How do you feel about it turning over to whatever this thing is? It would get it out of your hair."
Fucking. Rex looks up from his drink back at the shadow, and suddenly the prince is gone. And he's like, "Do I know you?"
The presence says, "All know me."
Rex has like a confused look on his face, similar to Eugene, where the shadow just avoided answering any fucking question with any semblance of an answer. And he's like, "And you want the scepter?"
Yes.
Rex finishes his drink and stands up, and he breathes deeply. And then while looking at the table, he says, "Is there nowhere in fucking space where I can just have some peace and quiet?" And he looks at the shadow.
Yeah, the shadow says, "In desire, there is no peace. Bring me the scepter, Rex."
I like that as he says it, the caretaker like can't see the spirit. So he's just like sweeping through where the tendrils are.
Scruffy's just like, "Yep."
Yeah, he like can't see who I'm talking to. He just thinks I'm a wacko.
Yeah.
And
Some blood-covered goof who came into the hologram strip club, had a drink, talked to himself, and then left.
Rex just kind of like passes his drink to the side and stands up, and he turns to leave. And he kind of throws one hand over his shoulder at the spirit, and he says, "You want the scepter? Okay, come and get it like everybody else." And then he just walks out of the bar.
Okay. Right. So you leave. So I think we cut to the spaceport, and we can see your like messed up ship. and we see vessels like landing, and outside the ship we see the unmistakable matte, jagged, kind of knife-like shape of an Aagaran cruiser come in and land. I guess like a landing. They'd send a landing boat if they have to land on the planet. So we see it land, and from out of its docking port, we see a group of about a half dozen black-clad, enormous like warrior types, and they kind of emerge from the ship, and we follow them as they head out into the city proper. And people are like giving them a wide berth. There's a lot of whispering, like these are obviously like everyone knows the Aagarans were wiped out, so these must be like pretenders or like bounty hunters that found a cache of Aagaran weapons and stuff. And so everybody's like, "Ooh, scary! Like, are they real? No, they can't possibly be real." We get a lot of like chatter in the crowd as they head out into the city. And then we stop on your ship and we fade in to the inside of the ship. And what's everybody doing when we cut back? I mean, I guess Rex, you're heading back to the ship, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before that happens, and you can, Rex, enter the scene whenever you want. But Eugene, Quinn, Aurora, what are you doing when we cut back to you?
I assume we're all doing whatever we can to the ship, right?
Yeah. I'd say I'm trying to like, we're all trying to put it back together, I guess.
Okay, who's leading that effort?
Oh wait, did we decide to go to the other ship and like strip it of its parts? Because they're not bloody and broken? Yeah, we
I'm
did.
not-
Okay,
I
you
don't
know what?
Did we?
Did. You know
Yeah,
what?
I mean that was the plan you proposed. I don't know that it's like
I'm
what anyone
really
agreed to.
negative. I'm really good at making decisions. So I went over
Clearly.
and had two guys. I paid them and had them help me like get these parts. Do I have to roll on this, by the way? Get these parts to bring them back to the ship because I'm
So
a little.
yeah, I mean you can't just one roll your way into like stealing Jasper's ship because they like
Oh,
even if they found
parts.
what's that?
I want to make a fake contract saying I have the rights to his parts. So the same way he did it to me, the same way, but he's dead. So he
How
can't.
about you let me make that contract? Because I feel like I'm the only one who's made fake contracts on this ship before.
Listen,
Aurora's being really corrupted by being on this planet. Like she suddenly turned into
I know, we got to get the fuck out of here.
What happened?
Remember when Aurora used to be like a nice person and was
Remember
like
when she didn't drink or ruin our ship or
Wasn't
ruin
it-
Rex's life? Do you remember that?
Man,
I feel like we're
This is a good story about alcoholism and its effect on people's lives. Is
True.
what this is. This is an after school special episode.
And it doesn't just affect you; it affects the people around you.
Yeah,
Aurora.
But have you
a man
noticed,
got killed today.
have you noticed that every planet Aurora ends up on, she like gets really into the actual planet and what's going on. So this is one where there's a bunch of drunken pirates.
Yeah.
So she's really into it, man.
Take her to the intervention planet. It's in the AA system. So I think the thing is like, so you're talking to Eugene about this plan. Like you fake a contract and do this whole thing. And yeah, Eugene, you're the career criminal here. So what do you?
I mean, look, I'm not about to say, no, let's not make a fake contract because I'm always down for that kind of shit. But like, I just want you to be careful because as of right now, we're feeling a little weird about letting you do anything by yourself. You understand that, right?
I mean, as long as I don't drink because you guys don't like it, and I don't want to make my friends upset. So I think we're good. I promise. Not until we're off the planet. I won't touch another drop. Okay? It sounds like I'm actually an alcoholic now.
Yeah, you really.
I promise I won't ever for a day.
I can quit if I want to. I just don't want to. All right, I'm having a fun time on this planet. Why are you trying to mess up my fun time? So you're having this conversation, and I think that you hear the ship's equivalent of a doorbell. It's the first like 7 notes of La Bamba that plays over the intercom, indicating that someone is outside the airlock asking to get in.
Let's say that like, yeah, Aurora and I are having this conversation. It's getting, it's not getting more heated, but it's getting more yelly, just more just like, wah! And then, I like, as I'm responding to her, move my way over to the intercom and I'm like, what?
You hear a modulated, like obviously covered voice say, Eugene, let us in. And it's like all like machiney sounding and like, yeah.
How about I know who this is first? Who is this?
It's Thuja, you piece of space trash. Let me in.
Oh, then allow me to not open the door. Goodbye.
And so you just walk away.
Goodbye.
Okay, the doorbell goes off again.
And then I,
Goodbye.
like,
Where is Rex?
I press the button. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, so there's like a pause, and then you hear, I
Hello?
swear, if you don't open the door, I'm going to break it down, and then you won't have a door, and your ship looks like garbage already, so that's only a step down.
Hello, excuse me, that was not my fault. That's not very nice. Okay, maybe your ship looks like garbage. Who are you, by the way? Who are you? And then you hear Sparky barking.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's cool, it just pissed Thuja off. That's fine.
Hello.
I mean,
do
you can
report
keep her
me here?
keep her outside. Eventually Rex will show up, but Rex will see her outside instead of inside.
I legit like missed who it was. I was like thinking of like I was like calculating plans, so I missed who it was. I'm like, hello, are you still there? And just like probably pissing her off.
So maybe Rex, actually, that's when you show up. Like you walk up to the door of the ship, and you see. You recognize, despite the fact that her armor is meant to mask her basic shape. It's Thuja. You recognize her right away. She's in full battle regalia. Yeah, she has her space suit and her like matte black armor. She's with somebody though, and immediately there is something. Actually, I wanna compel you, Rex, because I think the smell of this person, unless you spend a point to resist the compel, I think your shark nature, I think it throws you into a feeding frenzy. Like you're desperate to like consume this person. So as soon as you walk up and get within like smelling range, something like you feel the blood frenzy just like well up in you, like a boiling ocean of hunger and rage. If you flip out and attack this person, you can have a fate point, or you can get it under control and say no.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, all right. What does that look like? So you just immediately you walk up, you see Thuja in her cool battle armor, you see a cloaked figure, like someone they're wearing like a nondescript like gray cloak with the hood up. You can't see them. They're quite a bit shorter than Thuja, but just the smell of them, like you go mental. Like what does that look like?
Rex. He sees them as he's approaching. Under his breath, he's like, could my day get any fucking worse? And then as he gets closer, he like gets a whiff in his nostrils and he kind of like loses his balance a little bit and has to like steady himself. He shakes his head. And then he gets a little bit closer still. And but yeah, he's just like, "Rrr!" And he just kind of like comes up behind him and just launches himself at the other
Can I
person.
say that right as he launches himself at what I assume is the hybrid? Like Eugene's like, all right, look. He like opens up the door and just
Sure.
sees just like, whoa.
Yeah, so the door doesn't open directly into this room, but yeah, the portal slides open. But yeah, Rex, you throw yourself in fury at this person in the cloak, and Thuja's gonna try to get in your way. So let's do an opposed quickness roll. Do
Okay.
quick. And Thuja got a 4. Okay. So yeah, she's gonna beat you. She's gonna get in between you and this person unless you spend a point or do something to get
Fine
her.
with me.
Okay, all right. So you crash into Thuja instead. So she's like snapped out her baton. I think she like hits you across the face to knock you back and then dives on you. And she's like holding you down. And instead of like, she's not, it's funny because normally the Thuja fighting is like, you're an idiot, I hate you, why are you being like this? But instead, her mask like slides back so you can see her face, and she looks concerned for you. And she's shouting, she's like, Rex, get a hold of yourself, and it's like trying to hold you down. But obviously you're still like you can feel the thirst. So what do you do?
I mean, try and throw her off, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Make a forceful roll to.
She's not really in a
to-
speaking mood right now.
Yeah, totally.
I think you can
and
tell,
that,
right? I think like Rex's eyes go like completely black when he's like completely bloodlusted. So there's like a telltale sign that he's just not coherent.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, make an opposed forceful roll.
Cool.
Okay, so again, unless you want to spend a point, she's like got you pinned down, and I think in the ship, I think Quinn, you hear Thuja, her like unmodified voice. You hear her shout like, Quinn, get out here! So yeah, everybody in the ship hears that. She's like shouting for help. What do you do, Quinn?
The door's already open, so
Yeah, door's open.
Yeah.
I'm there and I'm just watching like I'm not getting ooh no. So I still have blood on me too, so I have all the blood that he also has on him. So.
I like slowly work my way down the ramp until I'm like kind of right next to the hybrid. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Eugene." Put out a little like.
Okay, yeah, we
They're
just see
still
for a
fighting
second.
in the background though.
Yeah, Thuja's trying to like pin Rex down, and Rex is snarling, and you've seen Rex in his blood frenzy before, and that's what's happened.
Quinn, because they're both like sort of pinned on top of each other, Quinn goes over and just smashes his foot down on her back, pressing them both to the ground. Yeah, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Quinn."
Okay, so you're gonna like pin them. Thuja's gonna try to get away like from you, but yeah, if you hold Rex down, that'll be like long enough for him to calm down. Yeah, so now Eugene, you're like, "Hi, I'm Eugene," and you're like, "Hey, I'm Quinn," and this person, I think it's Thuja, as she gets up. As Rex, you start to calm. She looks at everybody and she's like, "Look, I don't want to do this outside. It's not safe. Let's get inside the ship and then we can all shake hands and make nice."
Sure, whatever. I go inside.
Okay, all right. So Thuja walks over to you, Rex. Like you're pinned down. You can feel the frenzy subsiding, and she puts out a spiked like gauntleted hand to help you up.
Cool. Yeah, someone mentioned in chat that like when sharks get angry, that they have like a white layer that goes over. So I think like his eyes are all white. That sounds cool. And then you see him like recede, and he blinks a few times, and just sees like the gauntlet, and he just kind of like grabs it begrudgingly.
Yeah, so she pulls you to your feet, and she's like, "Look, I know it's been a while since you see me, but you don't have to get so worked up." Yeah, Rex, how do you respond? You just like
He ignores it.
Okay. All right. So you all go inside, and we wipe to the inside of the ship, and you're in the room, and this person in the cloak is probably standing like behind. Like Thuja is always as close to this person as she can be, and interposes herself between them and anyone else that's around. So this person is standing kind of behind her. She's got her helmet like retracted so you can see her face, and her hair's all like braided up behind her back. And and so she's just putting away her like batons, and she says to you, Rex, she's like, "Yeah, sorry. I thought that might happen. I was hoping we could be inside the ship first," but she shrugs.
Rex like splashed his face a few times.
Yeah, and you can still like the whole room is just pervading with this like intense food smell.
Yeah.
And Thuja turns to the cloaked figure and she's like, "Are you all right?" And the person nods, and she says, she's like, I'm sorry, but remember, you were the one that wanted to come here. I told you these people were insane."
Whoa.
And she looks over her shoulder and she's like, looks at you like, "Come on, like, really? You're gonna pretend?"
I mean, you don't gotta say it.
And then Thuja turns back to you, like the group of you, and she's like, "So your plan is just to lure everyone who wants to find you in the scepter to one place, and then what? Hope they kill each other? People are insane."
Well, actually, our plan. And I look around real quick, and like I've been like really good at talking way too much. And I look at Rex, and I'm like, do I continue? Do I tell her? Your
that,
girlfriend.
that was the plan.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
did I miss the details? I mean, we have the whole like the scepter, and then we have the.
So you're all talking, and she's like, whatever your plan was, it's changed now.
What?
She looks over her shoulder at the person in the cloak, and she shrugs, and she's like, when she heard what was happening, she demanded I bring her here to talk to you. And she gives you a look, Rex, like, try to control yourself, and steps aside. And we get a shot of the woman, the person in the cloak. She raises her hands, and the cloak falls away from her hands, and we see she has these perfect gold-skinned hands. And she pulls the hood of the cloak away, revealing a long, like her hair like tumbles out in slow motion. She's all backlit and soft focus. Her black blue hair like tumbles out of her hood in perfect ringlets. She has gold skin, but there's something different about it. She's not that kind of like hard metallic gold of the Imperium. There's a softness. She has kind of a glow to her. She has these perfect like hazel amber eyes. Everything about her is just like engineered. The shot, the person they would choose to act as her, the makeup, everything to make her as like conventionally perfect and attractive as possible. But she has little like freckles on the bridge of her nose, and like she's got kind of like an approachability to her, so she's not like the imperious kind of hotness that all of the Empire is. And so her hair like tumbles forward, and she like pulls the cloak down, and she kind of smiles this like lopsided like quirky smile. And she says hi. And you notice that she has this very distinct, like azure-colored lipstick on, and and she shrugs, and she's like, I'm sorry it had to be like this. I really wanted to meet all of you somewhere a little safer, but well, I guess we have some explaining to do. What is everyone's reaction to this person? We get reaction shots from the crew. What is everybody like?
I want to be the last one, and there's just like nothing going on.
Yeah, right. Okay. So Quinn, what do you do, Quinn?
Quinn looks at her and then looks down at Thuja and Rex, and is just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And as it across to my character, I have the moonshine, and I'm just like this, like I'm not even paying attention. I promise, but I broke it.
And then yeah, Rex. What do we?
Rex is having this. It's like he's not doing so hard. He's like leaning. He's like shaking his head. And then when he actually sees her, he has this weird feeling that he knows her really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it freaks him the fuck out. And so like he's again like not in a great place because he's like, why do I feel like I know this girl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would love to compel you, Rex.
Okay.
I'd like to compel your aspect Le Freak in this instance.
Okay.
And the compel that I'm suggesting is not that you necessarily do anything about it, but that you fall madly and desperately in love with this person as soon as you see them.
Okay.
So,
I mean, the prince was in love with this person, right?
you don't know what the prince thinks about this person. I'm saying Rex.
And take the compel. Take that compel.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, Chad's overwhelming yes, so sure.
Yeah. So the minute you see them, whatever your other reaction, just like instant, deep, powerful, desperate love.
Can I add to this compel? Can I compel this compel? By specifying, this isn't just like lust.
No,
This is the first time in your existence since you can remember that you've truly fallen for someone, and this is love. This isn't just like I want to bone this person. This is I want to spend if someone. Oh my god! So cut back to the Flash. You know how when you like looked into the face of the one thing and you had like a sexy assistant, you only saw the sexy assistant's hand. and you flash back to that scene, and you see it was her
It's like
the
a gold
entire
hand.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always
exactly.
her.
You knew you had the desire, but you didn't know for whom. And now suddenly you're like, you're everything I've ever wanted.
Yes, you want her to be in your life you want her to be your number one forever.
I feel like after the events of today, would not feel that way at all.
I disagree. This changed your mind.
Are you also compelling me?
Powerful.
I will compel
think
as much
Jesse's-
as I need to make this story happen. I want
Jesse
this
is-
so badly.
Yeah, what Jesse's doing here is just embellishing on the compel, right? Is helping me clarify what love means in this case. And that's the angle I was going.
What
is
is
like
love?
like pure, deep, like like not just like let's bone, but like there's something so special and perfect about this person.
I mean,
You can't-
I'm gonna accept, but I'm also gonna say that Rex doesn't know what that is.
exactly. You can be
So-
confused, upset, and
It's
work it out yourself.
confusion, if anything.
Yeah. Of course, that's totally fine. Yeah.
He thinks he's hungry, but it's just a pit in his soul where she's missing. She fills that spot.
It feels like hunger, but he's full.
Yeah. Yes. God.
So this is when this is
Perfect.
when Foreigners I Want to Know What Love Is starts like coming up in the background, and we see you looking at her, and she's all like smiling, and like you see her perfect face, and there's the lights behind her, and she turns to look at you, and like and it just gets all like intense, and it's perfect. So that swells in the soundtrack, and then Thuja, we hear her snapping like, hey, and then you like come to, and it fades away, and you like look over at her, and she's like, Rex, pay attention.
Shakes his head again.
And then we see Eugene. Eugene is just like ditto face, I guess.
Yeah,
Just nothing.
I'm the ditto face. Yeah.
All right. So who's the first to speak? There's this moment where she's just kind of like, sorry. Like, I know this is weird for all of you. Does anyone say anything, or do you leave it to her?
No, Quinn is all business. He looks down at he looks at everyone who is clearly not even like half his team is out of it. One of them is
I'm just
oogling
waiting.
her, and he's just like, yeah, we have a lot of questions. You're the one person we've been following this entire time. What is going on?
She like wrinkles her forehead and like kind of pouts a little, and she's like, well, I know some things, but I don't know everything. It's a big question. Mostly I think that my uncle, the Duke, he's trying to finish what he started a long time ago. And she looks at Aurora when she says that.
Oh, great.
Aurora, you notice that she looks at you.
I stopped drinking. I'm just like,
So she she says to you, she says, well, so technically, I guess I'm the Empress of Space. And she kind of like laughs. She's like, my brother succeeded me in line for the throne, and when our father died, they put him in charge, but I think that the Duke didn't want that. I have some suspicions that he was the one that killed our father in the first place. My brother and I, half-brother, we'd been trying to work to figure that out. If we had proof, we could go to the courts. And
Quinn
we
just
could...
does like a timeout. He's like, stop.
Yeah.
I have to deal with this enough from Eugene. Let's start from the beginning
She
and work
nods.
our way to where we're at now. And I like put my foot off of the two that are underneath me. I'm like, let's go inside. I'm sure you have a lot to explain.
Oh yeah, no. This conversation would have been
inside.
it would have been inside.
Oh.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have revealed herself outside. Yeah.
Okay, then we're in. So he goes and he sits down on one of the chairs and is like, why are you only half of your people?
She says, well, it's been commonly accepted in the entire universe that the Mangasi are too pure to interbreed with any other species. Not engage with them, but to have children But then I guess my father found a species for which that wasn't true. And hi. And she like looks awkwardly at Aurora again. And then she says, but there aren't many of us left. Or I guess I'm the only one of us, but have you ever heard of Earth?
I just like, no.
Quinn looks at Aurora but doesn't say anything. And he's like, I've heard tales of it.
And she nods and she says, well, that's where my mother was from. The king, he liked to visit all the worlds of the Imperium, and Earth was sort of a backwater, a planet with some potential, but mostly ignored. And my father visited there a number of times. The High King got around. I never got to meet him. And I was born there. And then I guess the Duke found out, and she looks at Aurora and she's like, I'm so sorry. I think I'm why the planet was destroyed.
I just go, oh, okay. That's what? Oh, that's pretty terrible. You killed a lot of people, and I'm sure the Earth people things, alien, whatever they are, I'm sure they're dead, so they're not mad anymore. So that's, and I'm like, just like, it's completely over my head, and I'm like, why are you looking at me?
Yeah, and so she says, so the Duke, my uncle, he had my father killed for what happened. Plus, also, I think he just wants to be in charge of the Imperium. He's not a very nice guy. And when my father was dead, the prince took over. He is a nice guy. Oh, Novarius. Shame what happened to him.
Yeah, what did happen to him?
She looks at you, Rex. And then when you say that, Eugene, she says, it's okay. I know. Thuja told me. It's not your fault. He was already dead. It's kind of my fault, too. The Duke was looking for me, and the prince was trying to hide me, and now he's dead, and I'm all alone. But legally, and in a bunch of other complicated ways, the Imperium belongs to me. Most have known space, in fact. But with the Duke in the way, I'm never going to be able to rule it. And
Quinn... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Quinn. Yeah.
Oh, no. Quinn looks down at his pants and then sort of looks up at her, and he's like, so what you're trying to say is you need the scepter from us to reclaim your throne?
She says, almost. See, this is the thing. And she looks at Thuja like, do you want to explain or should I? And Thuja steps up, and Thuja's like, she looks pointedly at Rex, and then she says, here's the thing about the Aagarans. Back before the Imperium turned on us, there was an area of space designated the Protectorate. It fell under our care, a series of planets spread throughout space that have spiritual significance to my people. Earth was one of those planets. We used to serve the Mingasi. Everyone knows this. And so you all know, like, the story here is that the Aagaran-Mingasi War has been raging since, like, just about when Earth was destroyed. No one really knows about Earth getting blown up because no one cared. It was just this shitty backwater. The common story among the Mingasi Imperium, the story everyone knows, was that the Aagarans went crazy and the Mingasi had to put them down like a rabid dog, right? That it's all the Aagarans' fault. They're a bloodthirsty monster people. We had to kill them for the good of the universe.
What actually happened was they destroyed Earth, which was under the protection of...
Yes.
Yeah.
So Thuja says, so this planet was spiritually significant to us, important. And when the Mingasi destroyed it, it was on our honor. We had to go to war. And this was a war we could have won. And then she looks at Aurora and she says, until the Alaxatronians stepped in and gave them this super weapon.
Do they know that does she know? Because I don't think we know that I'm Alaxatronian.
You keep saying you're a robot.
Yeah, saying you're a robot.
She knows.
So what's funny here is that they've probably had several conversations about what your deal is. But yeah, so Thuja looks at you and she says,
also an Earthling, so it's great.
The Alaxatronians gave the Mingasi a weapon that they've only ever been able to use twice. Once on Earth and once on Aagara. It didn't work so good on Aagara, it had run out of juice. They need the scepter to be able to fire it again. She says, we need the scepter to be able to defeat them. It's still possible. But the tribes are scattered. We have no warlord. And she looks angrily at the group of you and she says, if you give us the scepter, we can reunite the tribes of Aagara and we can fight the Imperium and we can put her on the throne that she deserves.
Quinn like sighs and he looks at everyone and he's like, I understand. I too went through something very similar lately, and I know what it means to get your home back. And he looks over at Eugene and he's like, Eugene, give her the scepter.
The scepter's in your pants, dude.
Well, no, but the scepter that Eugene has, by all accounts.
We like have a long period of time where we're just
hold on.
staring at each other.
Yeah, so I think that's the moment, right? So you're like, Eugene, give her the scepter. And Eugene still ditto face, like you turn to look at Rex. And we cut to break. So stick around. We've got another hour of Nebula Jazz. I am so excited to see what happens. I'm gonna go get a drink and recover from that lore dump. Stick around. We'll be back with more Nebula Jazz when we return. Don't go anywhere.